I have wanted this fish for more time than I can remember. Is there something here? There's nothing here. Why were you barking? What? There's no one here. Oh, that's a good sign. You are bringing me the most expensive fish ever. So this just arrived. Oh my goodness. I have been waiting for this for, I don't even know how long, 15, 17 years? Many years ago, I saw a Tank of the Month article in reefkeeping.com, which was an online magazine that, published every single month, sharing somebody's beautiful reef. And in there was this one fish. And I saw it and I thought, what is that? Oh my God, it's gorgeous. And so, of course, I dug into it and I learned what it was called. And then I did some more internet sleuthing and I found the name of the person that was breeding them in Hawaii. And I was really excited. And so, of course, I sent out an email to the guy and I said, are you still making them? What do they cost? That kind of thing. And he says, oh, I stopped doing that 4 years ago. So I kind of was like, I guess it's never going to happen. And then once or twice, somewhere around 2012, a couple more of these fish appeared, and I thought, oh my God, it's back, But they're very, very rare, and very few people get them. They don't hail from super deep waters like the peppermint angelfish, but they can be, between 50 and 200 feet. So, down below the surface of the water. So it's a dive, and it could be further than a recreational diver could go to actually find one of these. And they're pretty small. Now, what we're talking about here, it's called the Japanese Pygmy Angelfish, and it's the Centropage interruptus. And like I said, it's been one of these fish I've always wanted. And then a few months ago, I contacted Eric at Among the Reef because he was bringing in fantastic fish and delivering them to people's homes, obviously rich people. And I said, when are you going to deliver me a fish? And then he was like, anytime, just let me know what you want, which I knew was not true at all because it was never going to happen. And then I said, well, if I wanted such a fish, what kind of money am I looking at? And he told me, and I said, listen, thank you, no thank you. I wish I could say yes. I can't. I'm not that kind of customer. I will never have that kind of money to buy a fish. It's just never going to happen. So when I ask you the price, I'm just asking just to know, but I guess I'm going to be someone that will always say, I can't afford it, forget it. And it's unreasonable, okay? That's how I felt, and that's what I told him at the time. So he said, no problem. We have no issues whatsoever. We're fine. I get it. Certain people buy certain things. And I said, I'm a coral guy anyway. So I kind of just was like, it's never going to happen. And then last week, a breeder out of Hawaii, whose name is Karen Britton, who I know and is relatively famous for what she's accomplished when it comes to breeding fish, posted up a video of 2 C. interruptus and said, these are available. I was like, oh my God. And I looked at the time when she posted it, and it was 1 hour ago. And I was sure they were gone. But I wrote her a message anyway, and I said to her, so how do you have one left? What does it cost? And she wrote me back, pretty quickly. And she says, actually, I still have 2 available. And, I will give them to you for this price. And I was like, I can't afford that, but I can get 1. I was basically saying, I'm going to commit to buying this. At this point, I'm not going to say no, because I've always wanted it. I'm just going to do it. And then she said, where are you located? Because I have to figure out if we can ship this to your airport. And I thought, definitely, it's DFW International. It takes all flights, no problem. And she says, actually, this airline doesn't go there. It goes to Austin. And I thought, oh no, am I going to actually have to drive down to Austin to pick up my fish and drive home? What a hassle. So she said she'd get back to me in a couple of days. And then she said, she sent me a message. She goes, well, good news. I can get it to Eric, and Eric can send it to you right to your airport. Or, he can get it to you. And I thought, oh no, you told Eric. I told Eric a couple of months ago, I will never spend this kind of money. And now she's telling him I'm buying this fish. So I called him. I was like, all right, so I guess you know what's going on. And he's like, yes. And I said, I feel like a hypocrite. And he goes, nope, you're fine. It's no problem. He says, I'm going to take care of you. Your fish is arriving today. And he said that yesterday. It's been such a whirlwind of excitement that I can't even remember. He just got it. He held on to it for basically a day. And then he shipped it to me yesterday to come here today. So this is it, this giant box. By the way, 15 pounds for one little fish. There's a lot of water in here. So I haven't opened the box yet. I'm actually a little bit nervous. And so I told him, let's go ahead and do this. And I said, but, you know, because you're also the owner of Blue Life USA, do I need to put my fish through safety stop? And he said, I don't know why you would. And I thought, well, I mean, you know, I always put every fish through it. And he said, you got it straight from the breeder, from her clean water, where it was just these two fish. And then I'm putting it in a brand new 10-gallon tank with brand new salt water for a day to observe. And then I'm going to bag it up. It's not going to touch anything. And I thought, okay. So that's actually kind of good news. But at the same time, this is a very small fish, and this is a very big tank, and I feel like it's just going to vanish. And I'm halfway tempted to put it in my Peacemaker where I can observe it for a few days because I just want to see it. But at the same time, I wanted to live in a reef and enjoy itself. So in the meantime, I did some more reading about this fish. I wanted it for so long, and I knew it had been in a reef tank in the past. So I read a couple of articles about them, and one of the things that I never knew, and I was like, oh no, was it said in this one article that it needs to be in water that's 74 degrees. And I thought, well, now we have a problem because I don't keep my tank at 74. I keep mine at 77.5 to 78.5. And I thought, oh boy. So I then wrote Karen immediately and said, what temperature did you keep this fish at? And she said, I kept it around 76, 75, 76. And I was like, all right. And then I wrote Kevin Cohen from Live Aquaria because he had these fish in the past. And he gave me the whole, the whole spiel. And he said, don't worry, I had them in a tank that was 77 to 78. And I had them for a couple of years before I sold them. And he's like, you have nothing to worry about. I'm like, okay, all right, I feel better. So in the meantime, I changed the temperature of my tank. And my tank, like I said, I've kept it at 77.5 as my minimum. I went ahead and changed it to 76 just because this is an expensive fish going in here. And I think the reef can handle a little bit cooler because it'll be, the low point will be 76. The high will be 77, 77.5. So it stays within the target range of this little guy, and hopefully everyone else can handle a little bit cooler water. I'm sure it can. I like to run my tank a little bit warmer than what I'm doing now, but I'm doing this for this fish because it costs so much. So I have one more story, and then we're going to open the box. When I was young, I totaled a lot of cars. I smashed and destroyed them, had to get another one, and every time I bought a car, it was $1,500. Every time. It was weird. It's like every used car is $1,500. And then I got married, had a baby, and I needed a place to live. And we definitely had to move immediately. And I found, well, actually a friend found a mobile home that was $1,500. It was condemned. Granted, it had a big sign, do not habitate in here, And we spent a week remodeling it, replacing all the floors, fixing the windows, killing the roaches. I mean, the whole thing. Put in a new fridge, added a heater. I don't even know what else. And that one cost me $1,500. This fish cost more than a car. And it cost more than a house. And this house, this $1,500 house, this mobile home, I lived in it for 14 years, so it's not some crazy exaggeration. This is a true story. This fish cost more than the house I lived in for 14 years and raised my kid. So let's open the box. Like I said, I want to take fantastic pictures of it, but I did get a few pictures from Kevin that he said I could share. So the company, it says Tank Stop on here. I'm going to put this on the ground. But the company is Among the Reef. Whoa. Okay, we have so much water, the bottom of the cooler came off. Guess we're going to go back up here again. This is a lot of water. Oh, there's a fish in there. It's so tiny. Oh, by the way, when I had a choice of what fish to get, I asked for the smallest one, of course. Oh, it's so cute. It's cute even through an opaque bag where I cannot see it perfectly. All right, I got to move this into something else so we can get a better look. Hi, little guy. Wonder if I can get this glass in here. Got him. Oh my God, so beautiful. A typical mature Japanese pygmy angelfish sells between $2,500 and $3,500. Mine is tank raised, captive bred, and I got it for $2,000. Yes, that's a lot of money, but it's been on my wish list a long time. I can't believe I have this fish. A tank raised captive bred fish doesn't know anything about the ocean. It hasn't been taken from its home, so it's already used to living in an aquarium as well as receiving foods on a regular basis from their owner. All that's left now to do is to acclimate and put it in the reef and never see it again because it's so tiny. Oh, I hope it is out and about all the time. I seriously do. I know I can see it in this vase. I want to keep it there. I'm really happy right now. Okay, let's start the acclimation. So this is a 2-gallon bucket. The water's up to about here. I'm going to go ahead and add the fish, and then I'm going to set it up with a drip. Actually, it'll be a trickle, and I'm going to let it double the water volume, and then the fish is ready to go into the tank. Here we go, little guy. I'm going to pour you in here. Here we go. Wow, even prettier in a white bucket. Acclimation is pretty easy having the temporary tank right here because I can hook that tubing on the opening of the temporary tank. You can see the liquid is dripping through this little drop counter. Then it continues all the way down and goes right into my bucket, and there's the fish. There's even a cover on top. That was actually designed by Caitlin as a way to keep fish from jumping out during the acclimation process. The water the fish came in when it was shipped, the salinity was very close to my reef. It's 1.025 where my tank's 1.026. So acclimation was really just a matter of matching temperature and then raising the salinity just slightly. Next it was put into the peacemaker, which is a box that I suspend in my tank and allow me to observe fish for 3 days and let them see the rest of the reef before I set them free. I'll explain why I use caulerpa in the peacemaker in a moment. I need some food for my tiny fish. And this says it's small and made for fish that are 1 to 2 inches in length. Look at the size of the granules. So this is a huge packet that I got a few months ago. I've been keeping in the refrigerator. It's good until the end of this year, basically. And I use it to feed the little tiny, beautiful, lovely angelfish. You can see how small this is, maybe. So I tried pellet food a couple of times, but I found that she really likes arthropods, which is a liquid food that I also have on hand. That food has worked out really well, and I feed her that twice a day. Now, the reason I put in caulerpa was a place where she could feel safe and she could seclude herself if she wanted to, rather than some PVC pipe. I just thought this was more natural. Plus, there's little bugs and stuff in there from my refugium that she could snack on if she so desired. Normally, after 3 days, I release the fish into the reef, and then that's that. However, Eric asked me on the phone, are you sure you don't want to set up a separate tank, a smaller one with a piece of live rock, and put this fish in there to let it grow larger? And I told him absolutely not. However, once I finished talking to him, I rethought my position and decided I probably should set up another tank. So There's another video coming up in a couple of days, and you can look forward to seeing that, to see part 2.